The Protectors of the Wood Adventure Series, episode number 214. Why can't I just shut up? Abby ate a late lunch and then stared at the ceiling. She was thinking,
I wish I knew what happened to Rose. The mystery seems just out of reach. There are only a few options, and some of them are bad. I just don't believe that Rose was sick. She didn't act sick. She acted, well, strange, even threatening, in a cold, hostile way. She was like a different person, and Rob is clearly not buying into whatever the problem is. Could it be that Rose is somehow being threatened? But how? Why? I just don't believe Rose's remark about, I'm not retiring. Of course she's not retiring. I only work mornings and have no prospect of an expanded job. I've already refused a full-time job to work at the church. Could it be that Rose is the one who was threatened? But how? Tom Winkle is not looking for a job. He's a grandfather, fulfilling his role as a benevolent community member and advising his son on the farm. Perhaps something different is threatening Rose. I wish I could recall what my mother said about Rose. Something about me being her second cousin or something. Rose's grandmother worked for the Georgie family. She was the nanny for Wendy and Chi-Chi's mother. Oh my God! And my great-grandmother was the house manager. And they were sisters. Did they die in the tragedy? I don't even know. But one thing is for sure. Rose knows about this and is not mentioning it. But what could be threatening about it? I must speak to Wendy. Why didn't I ask her before? Perhaps I can find Chi-Chi.
Abby continued to obsess about this mystery as the evening shadows crossed the churchyard. A fear of walking to the garden center had come over her. She desperately wanted a clean getaway on the following day and had become fanatically cautious. Even if Chi-Chi knew something, was it important to know about it now? Probably not. Talking to Chi-Chi could be postponed.
I'd better water everything. We've got a drought going on, and I won't water again for 3 days. I'll do it now.
Friday morning went much like the previous 2 days, but just before lunch, there was an incident that left Abby feeling she'd made a terrible mistake. Rose was absent again, and Tom Winkle continued to play a prominent role. The group began the day by admiring their new creation, the Play City, now with gardens and a forest in the bright sunlight, seemed even more beautiful and fascinating than the day before.
Can we see the treasure in the sunlight, out in the open?
No! The treasure has to be protected. And that's the wizard's job.
But we are good people and can come into the forest and see what's there.
The good fairy can join the wizard, and they can look at the treasure together. And the crystal ball in the wizard's hand can make magic.
The dragon can make magic too. And it's his job to keep the others away, because the magic is too dangerous for ordinary people.
But we want to understand the magic too, and everyone should be allowed to look at the treasure.
Suddenly, Kayla discovered a long worm escaping from the soil around a potted maple tree. All attention shifted to this remarkable earthworm, which stretched itself out 4 or 5 inches long and moved out of the forest toward the city. Kayla stood up in shock, wondering what to do.
Stop it! Stop it!
Franklyn reached out to grab the intruder, but Abby declared that earthworms have a much lower temperature than humans, who are hot, almost 99 degrees. The touch of a human is bad for a worm. Abby laid down a piece of paper, and when the worm had crawled onto the paper, Rob transferred it to a glass jar.
The worm is trying to get back home. We should carry the worm to the big tree.
And so, after a short hike, they released the worm into the loose soil where a baby maple tree had been the day before. The group was satisfied, but the worm gratefully disappeared into the cool underground. Kayla stood up in alarm.
Where is it going? How can anything live under there? Isn't that a bad place?
Tom Winkle sat near Kayla and said,
This is a good place for roots and soil animals. All plants and trees send roots into the soil.
Kayla looked doubtful but did not reply. Rob suggested they return for lunch. On the way back, Abby asked them to take a look at the 3 compost bins. Rob explained that they put their leftover or spoiled food in the first bin and showed them the corn husks and leftover beans from the night before. Abby opened the second bin and poked around with a stick, pointing out the worms and centipedes. Kayla was tall enough to see without help.
I don't understand. This was food before? What happened to it? What do you mean? It becomes soil?
Abby opened the third bin and it was mostly dark soil.
It's like magic. How could this happen?
It's the Earth's magic to turn plant and animal material back into soil, which then becomes full of nutrition for new life to grow.
The children wanted to see and ask questions.
Do worms become soil too?
What about the birds? Squirrels?
Yes, all plants and animals turn back into soil.
But what about people?
Abby realized that she'd gotten in way over her head and looked to Rob and Tom Winkle for help. Rob drew his finger across his throat to silently tell Abby to shut up. Tom shrugged with a bewildered look. The children were waiting for Abby to reply.
I've got to say something. They'll be even more scared if I won't answer the question. Can I tell them the nature of the human soul has been a running debate among humans since the dawn of time? Well, let's be honest about bodies first. You know, Kayla, in some ways, humans are related to animals.
Kayla stood up as tall as she could and announced,
I am not an animal!
I'm not saying any of us are. I'm just saying we're all related.
I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt, but we barely have time for lunch before the parents in the afternoon group will be arriving.
Kayla gave Abby a few thoughtful looks, but didn't raise the subject again. Parents appeared to pick up or drop off their children for the afternoon session. Rob took a few minutes on the side with Kayla's mother, and Abby was sure he was explaining the discussion of composting bodies.
I've been such a fool. They're too young. I really don't know what I'm doing. Why can't I just shut up?
As Abby prepared to leave, Tom approached her.
Don't take it so hard. Children see squirrels decomposing on the road.
they see their grandparents pass away. And as for the human soul, you were right to leave that to the parents and their family beliefs. Don't blame yourself. Touchy subjects are a part of life.
I wish you a rainbow all around your head, a safe place inside when you're dreaming in bed, a future beyond me where hope lights the way, a life to be living when I've gone away. The years roll like waves on the ocean before us. You're off in your boat with your sail in the air. My heart it goes with you like a hand on your forehead. More precious than gold is each strand of your hair. I'm asking the man in the sky to take care of you on that boat with your sail in the air. The years they unfold as a mystery before us. From out of our mother, the earth we all share. May earth, wind and water go on forever. May we always go with them, our sails in the air. The man in the sky wants us to take care of our mother around us, the earth in the air. The man in the sky wants us to take care of a mother around us, the earth in the air.
Trillions of living things are everywhere around. Our lives are all planted deep into the sacred ground. There's everything to love and everything to fear. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. And nature lives here.